few years ago, someone asked me what verse I thought best described our ministry philosophy, or the way that we try to think about ministry and actually love students on our campus. And so I thought for a second, and my original thought was what we often call the greatest commandment. So to love God with everything that we have, and to love our neighbor or love people as ourselves. And while I think that that text really is our marching orders to be a disciple of Jesus, and it is the kingdom ethic of loving God and loving people, that wasn't the text that I told them. I also didn't tell them the Great Commission, what we often argue is kind of the way that flows from the Great Commandment of loving God and loving people to the Great Commission of making disciples, to helping people trust and follow Jesus. And while we use the language a lot of being disciples, so trusting God and following Jesus, loving God and loving people, and we use the language of making disciples, of helping other students trust and follow Jesus, the text that I would really say is at the center of our heart for students on campus is actually a little earlier in Matthew's gospel. A few years ago, Eugene Peterson translated the entire Bible into what he calls the Message. And he says this, or this is his words in Matthew chapter 11. I would say that these words really describe our heart for students on campus, and the way that we want to minister to them, and the way we want to love them, the way that we think that God has loved us. Here's what it says. Are you tired, worn out, burned out on religion? Come to me, get away with me, and you will recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me, and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. The phrase I've been using a lot lately is that we are a community, a discipling community in the way of Jesus. And when we talk about building community, this is the way we want to build it. Are you tired? Are you burned out on all the ways of trying harder to seek God, or trying harder to be someone that maybe God's not called you to be? That if we want to participate in the rescue mission of God to rescue the world, to restore the world, to breathe fresh life into the world, I think this is the way forward. Learning as a community the unforced rhythms of grace. Learning as a community to take a real rest, but not by disconnecting from God, or not even by disconnecting from others, but truly finding relationship in Him. These are the questions that Eugene Peterson asks in his devotional Bible right under that text. And I want these questions just to kind of fuel our day today. What do you think of when you read the phrase, unforced rhythms of grace? In what ways do you feel burdened by your faith? What needs to change for you to live freely and lightly with God? So today, as you live, as you move, and as you find your being in Him, may we come to Him and know that He has a journey that He's offered for us that is free, it's light, it is where we find true rest by abiding in Him, and that we can learn in Him the unforced rhythms of grace, and that is our desire as a community, to live in our recovery, in our rescue, in the restoration life we've been offered in the resurrection of Jesus, in the unforced rhythms of grace together. Have a blessed day.